Metroidvanias are one of the few genres that I strive to play above all others. The joy of discovering a new ability and trying it out everywhere across the map to discover hidden pathways never fails to bring a smile to my face. In Animal Well, a solo project by one Billy Basso and published by Big Mode, the combat is instead replaced with creative ways to use all of the tools in hand. This was a title I had gotten hands-on with at various media events over the past couple of years, and every time I found myself drawn back into this simple appearance, hiding oh so many secrets. Animal Well is one of the most atmospheric Metroidvanias I've played, and there's a lot of strong competition. The subtle ambient synth score lends a tense ambiguity to its crypt-like passages, and the sound design cloaks everything in an uneasy subaquatic quiet. The air is full of distant sounds of mysterious provenance. Is that a meowing kitten? Is that a shrieking human child? The art style is a gentle mix of muted neon pixels with cavernous blacks, scanline to dreamy effect. Rare is the room without some unique hieroglyph or statue. This is a game world dabbed by an ultra-meticulous hand. When a room appears featureless, my suspicions are put on high alert. For a long time, Animal Well feels more forgiving compared to most of its indie contemporaries. There's no conventional combat, meaning no repeated laborious attempts at bosses. When it comes to rare prickly encounters with oversized wildlife, it's usually wise to run, or else figure out what's angering them and put a stop to that. The map sprawls in typical Metroidvania fashion, but once the objective sank in itself of extremely vague purpose, I didn't get as lost as I did in Hollow Knight. The puzzles can be taxing, but they always click just on the threshold of tedium. Sometimes they involve setting Rube Goldberg-style systems into motion, or coaxing friendly animals into doing my bidding, or discovering new ways to use the items at my disposal. Sometimes the puzzles are single-screen problems, while at other times they span whole regions. There's also some tricky platforming, which is at its best when requiring quick and smart use of Blobo's tools with pixel precision. If I'm really clever, I can find hidden eggs spread throughout the map, all with unique names. I found one called Egg as a Service. After about 15 unrushed hours, I watched the credits roll, surprised by how breezy, almost easy Animal Well was. If that had been the end, it would have been a memorable Metroidvania for the pile. But it is not the end. The credits rolling in Animal Well just marks the end of one game and the beginning of another. After moseying about the world for a few more hours post-credits, I was ready to close the game and start this review, until I found a certain shaped object that could fit in a certain shaped hole, which led me into a new region hiding a new tool that, no exaggeration, changed everything. In Elden Ring-style sleight of hand, the UI had suggested to me that there were no further tools to be discovered, but suddenly the map, which had grown stale for me, became riddled with new opportunities. Every previous dead end needed to be revisited. Animal Well morphed from a fun, verging brilliant indie Metroidvania into something that now keeps me awake at night. I'm not ready to move on, and I won't, but I'm going to need a hive mind's help to unpick its deepest secrets. And that's not to mention all the clear evidence of conundrums I haven't really begun to scratch the surface of. What's with those monkeys throwing peanuts at me in that one particular room? Why is there a giant clock at the foot of the well? What's with the chrome-hued rotating donut? What are those directional hints that appear in certain hard-to-reach areas? My panpipe can play 8 notes, which among this well's inhabitants wants to hear a particular melody. And are those directional hints melodies? If so, who wants to hear them? I found a giraffe statue, so where's the giraffe? Nestled within a stylish and moody Metroidvania is an even bigger Metroidvania, kind of like a reverse Matryoshka doll. For genre enthusiasts, this might make more sense. It starts as Critical Path Fez and then morphs into Ela Molana. Still, it was when the game ended and I needed to take a more exacting approach to exploration when Animal Well's only glaring imperfection came to the fore. The map is woeful. Especially if you sit more than a metro away from your screen, I recommend turning scanlines off when viewing the map, because it's easy to mistake the lines for unexplored gaps in walls. Some areas are connected via chutes, basically a fast travel system, but these chutes are marked on the map with a single white pixel. This didn't matter so much during the main game, when movement around the world can be achieved by gut instinct, but when the aim shifts to discovering the hidden nooks and crannies left behind, the map proves frustrating. There are a range of stamps that can be applied to the map as reminders, but these have the opposite problem of being too large. A Metroidvania with an easily parsable map is a true rarity, yes, but few Metroidvania maps are as intestinal as this one. Still, you should accept the existence of a free-range drawing pen for the map as evidence that you'll probably need it. Animal Well is a puzzle game designed to keep players busy for up to a decade. Finishing it may suffice for the majority of players, but it'll likely remain an ongoing mystery for its at this point theoretical online community, just like Fez did over a decade ago. I can't see why it won't attract a healthy community of sleuths and spectators considering the intrigue of its pre-release args, the fact that the publisher Big Mode is a video game and donkey concern, and not insignificantly that the game feels brilliant and more ish in the hands. It's rare for a game that hints towards fathomless depths to so continually reward curious prodding, especially when that game is under 50 megabytes. But Animal Well, like Fez, Spelunky, and Hollow Knight before it, feels like it could be a concern for years to come. Whether its deepest mysteries pay off or not is a matter for the future, but right now this is the most engrossing exploration platformer I've played in years. Animal Well fascinated me from start to finish, and journeying into the well completely blind certainly took me somewhere in the realm of 20 to 30 hours to feel like I had seen all there is. Players that have some hints of the general flow and exploration of Animal Well could certainly finish it in closer to 6 to 10 hours, something that puts it in line with your typical Metroidvania title, while speedrunners can probably shave off half without too much trouble. But the real joys of Animal Well are taking that time to just stop, take a moment to explore and admire the pixelated scenery, and perhaps discover a secret or two along the way. For the first title published by YouTuber Video Game and Donkey's publishing label Big Mode, they couldn't have picked a finer inaugural entry than Billy Bass's Animal Well. Animal Well was released May 9th on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, and Windows PC. The game was reviewed on PC using a pre-release download code provided by Big Mode,